Many people in the basketball community have great respect for Draymond Green for his passion and his competitive spirit. Now, while that can be a great asset for Green, it has also come back and bit him and his team in the past. Green will make the Hall of Fame someday, but there will always be people who think more of Draymond for the times he has lost his cool than for all of his accomplishments. This video we highlight a few times that Draymond Green maybe should have thought a little more before he acted. Draymond Green has achieved many great things in his basketball career. He is a 4-time NBA All-Star, 4-time NBA champion, made the All-NBA team twice, made the NBA All-Defensive team 4 times, and won the NBA Defensive Player of the Year award in 2017. Green undoubtedly is going to be elected to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame at the end of his career, and deservedly so due to his accomplishments. However, during his playing career, Green has garnered a reputation for being a bit of a hothead. Being passionate and competitive is one thing, but Green has a tendency to go too far. Here are 3 times that Draymond Green has lost his cool. So let's just start with the matter at hand, shall we? The 2022-2023 NBA season has not even started yet, but every team has been going through their preseason training camp for the last 2 weeks or so. For many teams, it is the first time they get to come together and put their new pieces of their roster on the floor together and begin to build chemistry as a team going into the season ahead. For other teams, it is all about getting into shape and looking to continue their momentum from where they left off the previous year. Draymond Green and the Golden State Warriors assuredly fall into that latter category this year after winning the 2022 NBA championship this past June. However, that doesn't mean they are without their fair share of drama. Due to them playing into June over the summer and the Kevin Durant trade debacle in Brooklyn that seemingly held the entire NBA world hostage, the Warriors had a relatively short off-season, meaning a lot of the typical new contract and contract extension talks that take place had less of a time frame to take place than usual. The biggest person that was affected by this on the Warriors was Jordan Poole, who at 23 years old is coming off a career year and is looking for a massive contract extension that would begin next season. With all of that being said, that might have a bit to do with the incident that occurred at a Warriors training camp practice this past week. On video obtained by TMZ, you can see Green approach Poole while Poole's on the sideline at practice. Green gets chest to chest with Poole and says a few words. While we are unable to tell what they said to each other due to the video not having audio, Poole shoves Green off of him in frustration. Green in response delivers a vicious right hook to Poole, appearing to knock him unconscious. While it is relatively typical for players or even teammates to get heated in a competitive sporting environment, to see a knockout punch delivered by one teammate to another is certainly an oddity that no team wants to have to go through. There have been rumors that the Warriors will take disciplinary action with Green for the incident, but as of now, they have not yet announced any punishment for Green. Back in 2018-2019, Kevin Durant was in his 3rd season with the Golden State Warriors, and they were hoping to win their 3rd consecutive NBA championship. Green was considered a leader on the team, but Durant was the superstar, along with Steph Curry. Green has said publicly that he approached head coach Steve Kerr and general manager Bob Myers before the season with Durant as a teammate. Green felt his pleas for help with Durant were left by the wayside by those in management, leading to some pent-up frustration between Green and Durant. In a game that took place in November of 2018 when the Warriors were on the road at the Los Angeles Clippers, Green grabbed a rebound with less than 6 seconds to go in the game and tied the score at 106. Durant immediately was asking for the ball in the backcourt, but Green took the ball up the court himself, looking to create a final shot to give the Warriors a chance to win the game. Unfortunately for Green, he dribbled into trouble and lost the ball without getting a shot off, meaning the game would be sent into overtime. As the teams were going back to their benches to strategize for the extra period, Durant and Green had a verbal altercation about the situation, where Durant shared his frustration with Green about not getting the ball passed to him in that position. Green responded to Durant saying that if KD wanted the ball, then he should have run up the floor instead of just clapping and staying in the backcourt. The shouting between the two continued as the teams were preparing for the overtime period, and reportedly they continued to argue even after the game was over in the locker room. According to Green on a podcast recorded in 2020, Green revealed that Kerr and Myers wanted him to apologize to Durant for the incident, but Green refused to do so. Because Green did not apologize, the Warriors suspended him for a game. While things weren't ever great between Green and Durant again, they were able to patch things up enough for the Warriors to reach the 2019 NBA Finals, their fifth Finals appearance in as many seasons, where they would eventually lose to the Toronto Raptors in 6 games. In the 2015-2016 NBA season, the Golden State Warriors truly looked unstoppable. Not only did they have the best record in the NBA for the regular season, they finished with the best regular season record in NBA history, going 73-9. They beat the fabled 72-10 record that was set by the 95-96 Chicago Bulls, who were led by the legendary Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. Going into the playoffs, people expected the Warriors to steamroll their competition. The first 2 rounds, that was the case, beating the Houston Rockets and Portland Trail Blazers in 5 games each during the first 2 rounds. In the Western Conference Finals, the Warriors had to come back from a 3-1 deficit to defeat Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder in 7 games. In the finals, the Warriors took on LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers, who they also played against in the 2015 NBA Finals. Everything was going to plan in the rematch, as the Warriors held a 2-1 lead after the first 3 games and held a 10-point lead late in Game 4 as well. During an offensive possession for the Warriors, Green came up to James to set an on-ball screen while James was guarding Curry one-on-one. James tried to fight over the screen to stay guarding Curry, but Draymond stayed with him, moving his feet to block James's path from getting to Curry. During this action, somehow James and Green's arms got tangled together and James swiped his arm back, which knocked Green to the ground. As that had happened, the ball had moved to another part of the court, and when James was looking to get back into the play, Green was in his path and attempting to get up off the floor. James did his best to step over Green, but they collided once again. Green took exception to James stepping over him as he was trying to get up, so Green used his hand to swipe up at James's groin area upon getting up off the court. James then turned around and they exchanged words as a shot went up in the air. In the moment, a double foul was called on both James and Green, as LeBron reacted more agitated than he typically does in such a situation. The day after the game, the NBA reviewed the incident and assessed Draymond with a flagrant 1 foul for swiping at James's groin area. Kiki Van DeWehe, the NBA's executive vice president of basketball operations at the time, said of the incident, "There is no way you can say this is an acceptable act." Because it was Draymond's 3rd flagrant 1 foul of the postseason so far that year, he received a 1-game suspension that he would serve during Game 5 of the NBA Finals. And that was a massive blow to the Warriors, who were looking to close out the series in Game 5, and Green had been playing great basketball for them. The Cavaliers would end up winning Game 5 and win Game 6 and 7 as well to become the first team in NBA Finals history to come back from a 3-1 deficit and win the championship. Many people look back at Draymond's suspension and absence in Game 5 as an emotional turning point in the series that took the momentum away from the Warriors and started to favor the Cavaliers. Green might have cost the Warriors another title, all because Green couldn't keep his cool. But what do you think of Draymond Green and his actions? Should the Warriors suspend him? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.